They was just amazing. The most unselfish people I've ever met in my life.
All the things that are wrong with the system, I don't know why you point your anger for it at them.
Oh, what's going on over here then?
MI5 knew this guy was dangerous. They've all got blood on their hands, and I will never be able to process it.
John Crilly and Gareth Evans are still haunted by the events on London Bridge 18 months ago. The two ex-offenders were guests at the Learning Together rehabilitation seminar inside Fishmongers Hall, as was terrorist Usman Khan, pictured here sitting next to one of his victims, Saskia Jones, a volunteer at the event. Jack Merritt, one of the organisers, was another of Khan's victims. In various images, Usman Khan can be seen inside the venue, mixing with others and wearing a heavy coat to conceal his fake suicide vest. At one point, just before the attack, he disappeared into the toilets to tape knives to his hands. It was down to ordinary people like John and Gareth picking up anything they could find, in John's case a fire extinguisher, to fight off Khan, pushing him out onto London Bridge.
He just all put together, very lucky. I just sprayed him in the face with the thing. The knife hit his hose, because you see the spray suddenly go the other way.
Even though they managed to tackle Khan, as armed police arrived, he was still wearing a very real-looking fake suicide vest.
I'm shouting for him to shoot him. I'm telling him to shoot him, because he's just killed people. Yeah, and obviously he's got the belt. So I just said, I was shouting, yeah, to shoot him, shoot him.
Within seconds, Usman Khan is shot dead. But the inquest heard of multiple missed opportunities to share intelligence and properly supervise Khan in the community, which the jury concluded contributed to the deaths of Saskia and Jack.
This inquest has answered many of our questions about how Jack came to be killed. It's clear to us that the arrangements put in place for managing Usman Khan after his release from prison in 2019 were not fit for purpose. Jack believed in the work he was doing with prisoners through Learning Together. He saw firsthand the transformative effect it had on the lives of prisoners and students alike.
Saskia Jones' uncle expressed their family's anger at the organisers of the Learning Together event for failing to consider the potential risks of such an event attended by a convicted terrorist.
It could be said that their single-minded view of the rehabilitation of offenders, using Usman Khan, in our view, as a poster boy for their programme, significantly clouded their judgment. It seems there was no intent on their part to listen or take notice of what they were dealing with in working with such a high-risk individual.
The UK's most senior counter-terrorism officer apologised for the failings and promised changes are being made.
That we are making these changes after this attack will, I suspect, be of little or no comfort to Jack and Saskia's family. The fact that, as the jury determined, there were omissions or failures in the management of the attacker and in the sharing of information and guidance by the agencies responsible is simply unacceptable, and I'm so deeply sorry we weren't better than this in November 2019.
The ultimate blame, of course, lies in the actions of one man who ended the lives of two young people dedicated to making a difference. Gareth and John are still traumatised and angry. John at the official failings, Gareth by Saskia's last moments as he tried to offer what comfort he could.
I'm never going to be able to process reading them transcripts, the amount of times they've dropped the ball.
I sort of knew that she was in trouble, so I just tried to talk to her and sort of make sure she felt okay. I hope it makes some sort of difference. I hope it made some difference to her.